This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we are covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan of the series, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. So, we did get some feedback after we did that podcast-a-thon that people were interested in seeing our faces.
Yeah, and I feel like they're gonna regret that as soon as they see this one.
Yeah,
so.
I know, this is pretty bad.
It'll probably get better as we do more of it.
As you drink more? Is that
too,
what I heard?
As we progress through the night.
Yeah, okay.
Usually podcast only, and we're doing a beta test for video format.
Sure are. Sure are doing that. So, with that being said, we are recording this on a video that is going to be completely unedited and released to our patrons this month.
Yeah.
All of them. All of our patrons, because we would like some feedback.
Yeah.
Based on sort of if people like it, if this is actually a thing we should do.
If we do a better job, do they want to see it? So, yeah.
All right, so in this episode, we are talking about chapters 13 and 14 of The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah, so chapter 13, we have punishments, and chapter 14 is the bite of the Thorns.
Good.
Yeah, we get some Egwene stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still. You mean we still get Egwene?
We still get Egwene. It's a lot of information.
Oh, we're still on the on-ramp.
Yeah, I mean, normally...
We're not getting to our destination yet.
The issue is we're only a dozen chapters in, but normally you just bust through this, dozen chapters.
It's definitely how
done.
it was meant to be read.
Not two at a time very slowly over the course of a month and a half.
You're telling me.
There's that.
Okay, but you're going to start us off?
Yeah, with a fun fact.
Because I'm never going to forget your fun fact again.
And I got a good one here, and I didn't know we were doing this video one, so it's a little bit complex, so I took notes, so you just got to bear with me on this one. So, good notes this time, though. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to get into this.
You actually need to read from your...
A little bit, because it's a little bit complex.
Okay,
so,
right.
In these chapters, we're introduced to the Terangriel called the Oath Rod, about Aes Sedai, who are
the accepted who are going to become Aes Sedai.
Yeah, they hold the oath rod, which essentially binds the person to the oaths, and we're going to talk more about that when we get there, but I had to kind of dive a little bit deeper, because we also learn about Terangriel, how they can be any shape, any size, doesn't really matter from the sounds of it. So why is the thing that the Aes Sedai swear oaths on, why is it called an oath rod? So this is what my digging got me.
I picture it like a relay stick.
Yeah, it kind of is.
When you run a relay race and you have a rod.
Yep. You pass it off to the next person. That's exactly what happens in a relay. So with my digging around, there's a good chance that this is because of something called the Rod of Asclepius.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's a Greek god, and it's the serpent-entwined rod held by the Greek god Asclepius, who is associated with medicine and healing. And you're going to know when you see it, because I pulled up a picture for you, this is the Rod of Asclepius.
Oh, and it's got the snake around it, and that's the medical alert bracelet.
So it's used very commonly in today's world for health and medicine. So it's even on the flag of the World Health Organization, things like that.
Okay.
And it's not to be confused with the staff of Hermes, which is called the caduceus, which is this one. So it's very similar. It's a staff with two snakes intertwined with the little wings.
Okay, so the medical one is one snake.
Yes, and that's the Rod of Asclepius.
But Hermes was the messenger.
Yeah,
right?
But also of God. Yeah, we're not getting into that. It's not about Hermes right now. Okay. It's about the Rod of Asclepius.
Okay, fine.
So the reason this is important because there's a famous temple of healing that's dedicated to Asclepius on the Greek island of Kos, which is where Hippocrates, the legendary father of medicine, may have begun his career. And
Hippocrates.
Hippocrates. Okay, is that how you pronounce it?
That's how I and the rest of the world pronounces it, but
whatever works. Okay, I'm not so good at the names like this.
Okay.
So, and this
I could be completely wrong too.
You could be.
I have no clue.
Someone's gonna call us out.
I have no clue.
I don't really care. Hippocrates, whatever. It might be a familiar name.
Go on.
It's important because that's where we get the Hippocratic Oath.
Yes.
And that's really important because that's the physician's oath that basically you're swearing to uphold.
You're right. This is complex.
Yeah, but just bear with me here just for half a second more. It's the oath you swear to uphold specific ethical standards which all new physicians would swear by and hold to.
Yep.
So that's really important because you have new Aes Sedai, who are symbolized by the serpents on their rings, serpent on the staff, being sworn in on the oath rod, the Hippocratic Oath, which is basically to tell no lies, make no weapons, and do no harm.
There you go.
Yeah, which is very similar to the physician's oath. So that's probably why the oath rod comes into play.
Right, because as a doctor, you can't use your doctor knowledge to hurt people on purpose.
Not supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to anyway.
Not supposed to, just like Aes Sedai, not supposed to hurt people.
Right, and we still don't really know what happens if an Aes Sedai tries to break the oath.
We don't actually know that yet.
Do they just, like, burst into flames? That's what I picture.
Maybe. Yep, you got it. You figured it out.
I bet not.
Fireball. Okay. Yeah, but probably something maybe happens, or I don't know. We'll have to read and find out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into chapter 13.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Punishments. So we have the Flame of Tarvalin picture.
Yep.
Which makes sense because we're still talking about Aes Sedai and we're still in Tarvalin.
Yeah.
Last time, Egwene and that whole crew got to Tarvalin. Matt is super sick and might die because it's more convenient for Varen and Swan if Matt dies or something, which annoys me. But, you know, is what it is. And so we are in Egwene's head still.
Yes.
As you mentioned. So, Egwene is alone in her room, guarded by the bitch-accepted Feolane.
Yep. Just outside the door.
And she is still having her, like, I will not be kept as a prisoner thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like novice rooms are kind of similar to, like, the Damani rooms, probably. Like, they're small, they're cramped, they're not, like, luxurious.
Yeah, because we do get, like, an entire page of how small this room is. Like, the description is a little bit much for this teeny room.
There's a few pages,
yeah.
But, you know. But, yeah, same idea is happening, so it's not good for Egwene.
No, she's not doing okay. Like, mentally.
And she's probably been waiting here for like a couple hours, just like in her own head. So.
Yes, yeah. So she decides to use the Heidi talkie hole.
Yeah.
To chat with Elaine through the wall, and they are both scared and don't know what's going to happen to them, and they should be heroes. They brought the Horn of Valir back.
Yeah.
You know, and they also don't want to be stilled.
So, question for you then. So, did you think that they would have gotten that hero's welcome at any point? Like, I know they think that they should be welcomed with open arms and everything, but was that ever a real possibility?
No.
No? Okay. All right.
Okay. So, under completely different circumstances.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
If they had gone with Ingtar and that whole crew searching for the Horn of Valir that was stolen from Dark Friends.
Yeah.
And they returned with it.
Yeah.
And none of this Dark Friend stuff happened, and they didn't run away without permission against everything that's allowed.
Well, I kind of get it, because like it was an Aes Sedai who was telling them to go, so in their heads...
No. I'm aware. I know that. I know why they think that, but at the same time, the only way they're actually going to be welcomed as heroes is if they hadn't done something they weren't supposed to in the first place.
Yeah, and I guess it's got to be like kept under wraps too.
Oh,
like,
well, yeah.
No one's supposed to know about this.
And we definitely learn why.
Yeah.
So, Feolane busts in the door and then, busts Egwene for talking to Elaine and says, I know all about your hidey holes. And...
Probably like everyone does.
Not hidey. Well, it's a hidey.
Yeah.
But it's not a hole for hiding things in. It's a hole for talking through.
Talkie hole.
Talkie hole.
Yeah. Whisper hole.
Yeah, which is different from a glory hole.
A little bit. Ugh. Yep. Okay.
They're all women there, so you don't really gotta worry.
Couldn't really use it the same way.
No, and
Let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on. Yeah. We're going to dive into the dark underbelly of the White Tower.
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Okay, so it's time to see the Amyrlin, and we can't keep her waiting.
Yes.
So here we go. Now, Nynaeve and Elaine are also being taken, and they will all see Swan together, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
So they get to Swan's study, and she says, so our runaways return. And so right away, Nynaeve is like, no way. We didn't run away. Yeah. Here's the deal.
Trying to justify
We were tricked by Leandrin, and this pisses Swan off and is like, don't say that name to me, because turns out Leandrin did return to the tower.
Yeah.
And caused a bunch of turmoil.
Yeah, and we kind of have to remember that it was like it's been months.
Yes.
So that's the other side is like Leandrin had tons of time to get back, do her business, and then
get
leave.
out.
Yeah. So.
Oh yes. So she did some really awful crap.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
She killed some people, stole some things, and also took 12 other sisters with her when she fled.
So this is big. 13 Aes Sedai.
Crazy.
Left.
Yeah.
Swan doesn't like call them Aes Sedai. She's like women.
Yeah.
Because she kind of like probably wants to renounce that name from them.
Yeah,
like,
and I also wonder if some were maybe like accepted.
Okay.
If they weren't all full sisters.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Because she just took
different stages.
12 women from the tower.
Yeah, and it does sound like we'll find out soon because we do get that Varen's gonna like talk them through the details there. But right here, you're right. Absolutely.
So then we get a reminder of like all the different types of Angriel.
Yes, and this is kind of where we got that whole piece about the Oath Rod, and this is like new information. We've never actually got reference to what is going on with these. Like we've heard about the 3 oaths. We haven't heard about it's like a stout white rod that you hold while you're being sworn in that like magically binds you to the oaths somehow. Yeah. So. Yes,
that's accurate.
New.
Yeah. So Leandrin apparently took things that they weren't even sure of the use. So those are like the Terangriels, right?
Terangriel, yeah.
And so maybe the Dark Friends know how to use them though, and that's scary.
Well, you know the whole thing about like the Dark Friends is they have like the older Forsaken on their sides.
The Forsaken who are thousands of years old,
so they might have like a better idea of like how to figure these things out.
Or remember what they are.
Yeah. Like literally like, that.
Literally it's from 1,000 years ago and so are they.
I mean, it does seem like there's tons of them. Like they have storerooms full of them.
I know, but that whole thing back to Lanfear.
Yeah.
100% knowing how to use that portal stone.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that's completely lost.
She read it in a book.
Here.
Yeah. No, I get that, so. Mm-hmm. But one cool reference here, and I'm going to need actually help from our listeners on this one too. Oh. Because this was like a little kind of tidbit of information, got my brain working, so I just have to like kind of throw it out there. And if I'm completely wrong, I also want to know that too. So it's about
If you're wrong, everyone will let you know.
That's
Everyone
great, yeah.
loves to let you know when you've said things wrong. That's when I know how many listeners we have.
I mean, basically
whenever you say anything like even remotely wrong.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Everyone pipes
So
up. Let's
talk about this. So not just the theft, but there has been murders.
Yes.
So this is kind of like...
There has been a murder.
Yeah. So I think that this might be a little bit of a hidden Lord of the Ring reference.
Okay.
And I don't actually know exactly if it's right, because I might be wrong, but this is my thought process. So we learned that there's 3 sisters who died, 2 warders, 7 guards, 9 servants. That's important because in that whole like first intro poem about the rings of power,
about who gets a ring.
Yeah, there were 3 for the Elven Kings, 7 for the Dwarf Lords, 9 for mortal men, and it's like 3 sisters, 7 guards, 9 servants, 3, 7, 9. The only thing that doesn't really work so well is the 2 warders because it's like Sauron's one ring. So I'm missing one piece of the puzzle there. So if any that's
an interesting connection you made though.
Yeah.
Even if it like is complete coincidence, it's still an interesting connection.
Like I have to kind of figure out like why RJ picked those number of people to get killed. And
I just assume that RJ randomly just like picks things.
Picks numbers. Like
super
there's probably
arbitrary.
a reason. Yeah.
No, just kidding.
So like anyone who
definitely,
knows,
there's no coincidences here.
I mean, if it is Lord of the Rings, I just like put the rest of those puzzle pieces together for me because I just don't know Lord of the Rings well enough, like from the books, because that's for sure what he would have been going off of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Like the old school.
Well, because the movies weren't.
Yeah, they were like early 2000s.
This
Not when he was writing the books.
When he was writing the books. Like, what are you talking about? Of course he was going off.
I thought you meant like he'd never seen the movie, but he was still alive for that. So, anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure he saw the movies, but this book was published in like 91 or
Moving
something.
on. 379. What is the 2 for? Okay.
Okay. So the Amyrlin really wants to keep this all like hush hush because it's all terrible for their reputation.
Yeah.
And so she really has to make it look like these 3 are being super punished because she really wants it to look like they've just defected and come back.
Well, it's also really smart because Swan also says, like, I have to make sure that nobody connects the dots between you disappearing and then Leandrin and the dark. Because
it'll look like you're a dark.
It'll look like you went with her, so you're Black Aja, and you literally might get stilled because you're lumped in together.
Yeah.
So, like, it makes sense that she should try to, like, deflect.
Yeah. So, but the punishments the girls don't really find very fair.
Yeah, they don't want them.
No.
Yeah, they don't want them.
But it's all part of it. Plus, Varen has told everything that they have done. And so that whole stunt with the White Cloaks does deserve some punishment.
Yeah. I mean,
out.
and it is important to note that Varen isn't, like, hiding stuff from Swan. I like to kind of gauge their relationship between Swan and Varen. Like, it doesn't seem like Varen's, like, hiding information from Swan at all.
Maybe.
Okay, do you have an alternate
opinion
opinion
of course.
on that?
I'm still finding Varen a little sketchy. So even though she told her about what happened with the White Cloaks, that was going to get back to the Amyrlin anyway.
Yeah.
So there could be other stuff that didn't get relayed.
If you can give me an example, but if you can't, that's
not
fine
right
too.
this second, because we don't know everything that Varen told Swan, and we also don't know everything that Varen knows about Elaine and Nynaeve and Egwene.
I know, you're just super okay.
And I'm allowed to be.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay, so everyone knows that they're to be punished, which is, like, different.
Yes.
Because this is a display of don't leave without permission kind of thing.
Yeah, it's usually kept private, too. Like this, and there's switchings from Sheriam.
Which is like, I just hit you with a stick, right?
I hit you with a stick. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if it's on the butt or the back or, like...
No, I think it's the butt, because she says you're going to get switched so...
Oh,
much
yeah, that you're gonna wish
you
sat on a cushion. Yeah.
You had a cushion to sit on or something like that.
So it's on your butt.
It's on your butt. It's definitely
Hey,
smacks across the butt with sticks.
That's something to note, that they beat people, so.
Well, yeah. Okay, so also now Swan is aware that they have, like, leveled up substantially.
Yeah.
And she says that there are some things that they must unlearn. Like, immediately using the power to defend yourself against dumb White Cloaks.
Yeah, that.
Like, using it as a weapon. Like, you probably...
But, like, keep that whole blowing up trees thing. That's pretty, good.
Sure. But, turns out, it's not right to keep them as novices. So, even though they're being, like, severely punished in public...
Yeah.
They get to become accepted. So, Elaine and Egwene are no longer novices, and they're going to get raised to accepted.
Yeah, it's a very similar thing that happened with Nynaeve, is the power level.
Right.
One kind of, like, interesting little note that we found with this chapter, too, it was during the conversation between Elaine and Egwene, when they were, like, talking about how, we're going to run away together, right?
Oh, yeah.
And how, like, we're not going to be stilled, we're going to fight back. And we do know that these three girls are, like, way more powerful than any of the other Aes Sedai here, but they mentioned that they could still be shielded, so it's not just all about, like, raw strength, it's still a lot about talent.
Right.
So even though you're strong, you still need to know how to use it.
Well, yeah, because they're untrained.
Yeah, like, in so many different...
Which could be really dangerous, because they could burn themselves out and kill themselves and all this crap stuff.
Yeah.
So... we learn that things are going to be way harder for them, like, on top of their punishments, too, because the first couple weeks isn't accepted.
Yeah.
You're treated like shit.
Yeah.
Basically.
So it's, like, double.
Yeah, I'm really interested to know if we're going to get to see their testing.
I was going to say that, too. I actually forgot to mention that. But, yeah, if they're going to be raised, like, that means accepted test, which means going through that terrain grail. I think we'll
for sure see... Egwene's.
Okay.
I really don't think we're going to waste time.
That'd be, like, too many to see?
Going through Elaine's.
Okay. We'll probably, like, hear about it,
What's Elaine even, like, scared of? Her mother?
Her mother, yeah. Galad.
Well, she just hates him.
Well, maybe that's one of them. It's
maybe that's the fear, is, like, he becomes king or something.
He's, like, tattling on her. Oh, okay. He becomes king. I like that. Okay.
But, I don't know.
Hard to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Doing dishes, I don't know.
Yeah.
She seems to really not like that.
No.
Manual labor stuff.
And for Egwene's testings, I bet they're completely different now that she's suffering from this crazy amount of PTSD.
Okay.
From, like, being collared. Because that now is her ultimate fear.
Yeah.
Of being a prisoner again.
Yeah. So, like, if she had done her test before the Shan incident...
it probably would have been like, oh no, Rand's gonna die.
Or, like, I'm not gonna be able to become Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But now it's like...
you're locked in a cage forever and a slave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So things are gonna be really, really traumatic for her during that testing.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
And we're gonna see Egwene's, but we're not gonna see Elaine's.
That's the prediction.
But we'll hear about it through...
probably.
Talking?
Talking.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
A little conversation.
So... the queen knows about Elaine's disappearance.
Yes.
And is not happy.
This is really big because this kind of confirms a lot about what the White Cloak said to them outside the tower.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, it does. So she's super pissed off that Elaine disappeared, basically, and is just really angry at all the Aes Sedai. She even refused to have Elida back as an advisor, and she wanted to pull the boys from the warder training.
Well, not only that, Morghese literally went to the tower.
Yeah.
Like, she got in her, I don't know, big carriage thing and got, like, brought to the tower to be like, where's my daughter?
Yeah.
Who's the daughter heir? Like, this is huge.
I don't know. I didn't get that feeling, or I didn't get it from the writing that she went to Tar Valon to see her daughter missing. It sounded like she was going for a trip of some kind and then discovered
that
her
Elaine
daughter
wasn't
was
there?
gone.
Okay.
That's how I read it, because it sounds, she said, you missed your mother by a month.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't really sound like...
You missed her by less than a month, which may as be well for you. It doesn't really specify.
Yeah, that's just the...
So whether she
what
came
I
specifically,
assumed.
maybe she hadn't heard from Elaine, or maybe she was coming for a visit.
Or the other possibility is...
Spring break. Yeah, I know. She was going to the tower for spring break.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was actually going to say maybe... Well, no, because it was still like... It was like the fall.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Well, no, it's spring now. She was here like a month ago.
No. She missed her by... Oh, she missed her by a month.
Yeah.
On this end of the journey.
Morghese was here like less than a month ago.
Like a month ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spring break holds up.
Holds up. Okay.
Okay.
Holds up. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a month after they left.
Yeah.
Like you missed her by a month because you left and she showed up a month later.
Oof.
That's why I...
Writing is hard to interpret.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I would say from the reading, she's been here less than a month ago.
Okay. See, I saw it different.
Okay.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
Because I would assume that Swan wrote to Morghese and was like, your daughter's gone.
I gotta tell you now.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know.
Could be, yeah.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll see more. Because
Okay, let's move on.
we do
because
get
if
that
this
there's
is
a
the most
note.
exciting thing
Yeah.
that happens.
But I'm just saying, there's a note for Elaine
Right.
with
So
Sherry
we'll get a little bit more
We'll
information.
probably get some follow-up here.
Okay. So where was I?
Morghese isn't happy.
No.
Yep.
And the boys, Galad and Gawain, managed to stay
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah.
And so Elaine is like super immature still and says, Galad isn't my brother. And then Swan says, just because you don't like him
Doesn't mean he's
doesn't mean
not
he's not your brother.
Yeah. Do you think that's ever going to go away?
Yes.
She'll get over it at some point?
Well, she'll stop. Yeah, because
Okay.
I think that's starting right now.
Okay.
Because she gets really scolded for
She
being
does.
so childish.
She does.
And you're not allowed to be an Aes Sedai if you're stupid and childish.
Yeah.
So,
You shouldn't be.
right. Okay. So, Sheriam has a letter for Elaine from Morghese, and Swan does not intend to have Elaine leave.
Yeah. We
So-
do know the history about, like, there's rarely ever been an Aes Sedai, a full Aes Sedai, who is also a nation's ruler.
Yeah.
And then that when it has happened, that ruler, like, gets immediately murdered. It's not good.
Yeah.
Like, bad history. And now, like, good relationship-wise, this could be huge,
Yeah.
where the daughter heir is a full Aes Sedai and maybe moving
Well,
into
except
ruling
for all the
nation.
riots in Camelin because the queen is close to Tar Valon.
Yeah.
So...
And now apparently not so much because Elida's not there anymore.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, and I mean, Elaine also really wants to be an Aes Sedai, so
Yeah, there's
she
that
gets
too.
to stay. So Elaine is dismissed to go see Sheriam, and Nynaeve and Egwene stay for more scolding.
Yeah, or so we think.
Or so
Yeah.
Elaine believes.
Elaine believes that. Yeah.
Alright, so that's the end of that chapter.
Yeah.
And we get into chapter 14, The Bite of the Thorns.
Yes. And we get a new chapter symbol.
Yeah, so I said new picture, 2 dudes, 1 black, 1 white, in helmets, maybe dark friends. Maybe it, like, represents
Yeah.
the light side and the dark side.
Well, I was just thinking those, like, the masks. Like the black
Tragedy,
and white.
comedy?
Yeah, like, that's kind of what it reminds me of.
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like a duality.
Opposites. Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, especially after this chapter where we talk mainly about dark friends and we're going on a dark friend hunt.
Like undercover spies.
Undercover dark
Yeah.
friend spies.
Double agents, triple agents.
Super cool.
Yeah.
But that
Quad
I think that
agents.
this picture might represent dark friends.
Okay.
That's what I'm speculating right now.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
So, we're still with Egwene.
Yep.
And still in this room, a second later. And Swan starts out by saying that she has done her best to keep everything with Liandrin, like, super under wraps, and the servants think it was the work of dark friends, but that's bad too, because that means that dark friends infiltrated the White Tower.
And killed people, yeah.
Which is bad news bears.
But, like, at least it's not the fact that they're Aes Sedai who did the killing and also got killed.
Yeah.
So, like, she's working double time to try and cover this up.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Nynaeve asks, like, okay, but why are we still here? Are we to be punished more? And Egwene notes that Swan looks uncertain for a moment.
Yeah.
Which isn't great when the leader is looking uncertain about things.
Yeah. This whole conversation really it's like important to note because it really shows how unsure Swan is about everything. Like,
well,
I feel like
starts,
she's
talking to herself.
She's
here
rambling like
about
she's,
like who to trust and I can trust Varen, I think. And what about Moraine?
It's like one of two things. Is either she's like totally off and she's rambling, or she's like doing it intentionally to like kind of draw the girls in.
I think that she's having some external monologue.
Okay,
like self-talk.
Yeah. Like where it's not a total intentional play. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the only people she can be certain are not dark friends are Egwene and Nynaeve. And I just sort of said, well, that's kind of a stretch, but...
She kind of flips back and forth on that. She's like, I'm pretty sure I can trust you. Yeah, I'm sure I can trust you.
Yeah. Actually, you're the only people I know for sure aren't dark friends. Like, she's, like, all over the place. So...
And she throws a lot of names out there. Like, Lyanna, who's, like, her keeper.
Yeah.
And then Sherry, I'm the mistress of novices. And then Varen, who knows everything.
Yeah.
And then Moraine, she's been, like, working with for 20 years.
Yeah.
So it's like... Who are you gonna trust?
Swan sounds like she is in the middle of a really bad reality show.
Do you have a fish metaphor? That would work better for her. In the middle of a whirlpool with
listen though,
sharks.
On Survivor, they go fishing. So we could put Swan in Survivor, and she's concerned that her alliance is turning on her.
And she's like
the paranoid person talking to the camera in the corner.
The issue is that that's the person who's like super paranoid and talking too much. That's a person who gets voted off.
Oh yeah, every time.
That's not a good thing then.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not great. But that's what it kind of reminded me of.
Yeah.
Or like in Big Brother or something where...
The paranoid one always gets sent home.
Yeah.
Because they like run their mouths too much.
Oh, and they just go too crazy. But like maybe she can rein it in a little bit.
Maybe.
But that's just what it reminds me of. She's like talking about her alliance she's been playing the whole game with. And
I don't know if I can trust them actually.
She has no reason not to trust them. And then she gets in her own head.
Definitely.
Okay. So Swan's on Survivor.
Yeah. And not doing that great.
So, Egwene wonders here a little bit if Swan knows about Rand being the Dragon Reborn and thinks, nah, prob's not.
Yeah. Got bad news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, she also has dreamed of Rand last night running from Moraine.
Yeah.
So that's accurate.
She thought she was sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of true, sort of. He's not directly running away from Moraine. It sounds like he's running away.
And Moraine is following.
Yeah. So, like, yeah.
I can see how it could be interpreted as such.
Yeah. No time for that now.
No. So, Nynaeve says, well, I don't trust Moraine.
Yeah, if you want my
wondering.
Take, Moraine's the worst.
And Swan says that trust is a slippery basket of eels.
There you go.
So we're back on the island.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve is getting in Swan's head about voting Moraine out.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
It's going to go bad.
But then Swan just goes and insults both of them by calling them thin reeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean, thin reeds?
So Swan is losing it a bit. Like, I thought she was going to ask about why Liandrin took them. Like, I thought that this separate meeting was going to be more about what did you guys experience?
Is there any more information I need to know?
Do you have more information about the Shanshan and getting some, like, first-hand info?
Yeah, I heard you were a prisoner. Tell me about how their social structure works.
Yeah.
So if they come back, we can, like, infiltrate or do better.
Yeah, but no.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
nope.
I thought that's where this conversation was actually going to go.
Yeah, none of that.
Because it doesn't really sound like anyone is 100% aware of quite what Egwene has been through.
Yeah, And the issue is they're not talking about it. But then we also got previously where Swan was basically brushing off everything to do with the Shanshan because it's not a right now problem. It's like future Swan's going to deal with that because she's going to deal with it. And present Swan doesn't want to hear about it. So...
That's true, because Varen tried to talk to her about the Shanshan, and she was like, not now!
What about the sharks that are in front of us?
Yeah, or
not
something.
the ones that are in the ocean.
Yeah.
Something
stupid.
something, fish metaphor.
something stupid. Okay, so Swan goes ahead here and tests Nynaeve a little bit about keeping her temper.
Yeah.
And she says she would raise Nynaeve to a full sister, but she has to be able to control her emotions, like, way better for that. Because an Aes Sedai needs to be able to stay calm under pressure.
Yeah, I mean, Nynaeve still currently cannot channel unless she's angry.
Right, so that's bad. And Swan thinks that there were some Black Aja left behind.
This is a good theory, yeah.
That not all of them went with Liandrin, so now she needs 2 spies to keep eyes on things and figure out what's happening in the tower.
Okay, so here's just a thought here, because we know that the Forsaken were 13 of the most powerful Aes Sedai of the time who, like, flipped to the dark side.
Yes.
Right? And now we have 13 women who have flipped to the dark side.
Sure.
Do you think that this is all... No, okay, you jumped the gun on that.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
No, but that's the question, like...
I don't know if I actually answered your question or the one I thought you were going to ask. So why don't you ask your question?
So is this all the dark, like, Black Aja there are, the 13 women who left? Or are there, like, more in the tower? And if so, what's the ratio there?
Oh, okay. That is not what I thought you were going to ask.
Oh, what did
I thought you were going to ask if these 13 are also, like, super powerful.
No, we know that they're not really.
Yeah, that's why I said no right away.
Yeah. They're like Nynaeve and Egwene are, like, stronger than all of them, basically. Like, not as talented, but...
I do actually think that they all left.
They all left, okay, yeah.
I do. I think that they were, like, summoned away.
Yeah.
There's something for them
because, like, cover's blowing, let's get out while we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we know for sure that there were 2 at that Dark Friend social.
Yep.
And I'm speculating that at least one was Moraine. Nope. Oh my god.
Baby brain is real.
Baby brain. Okay. I'm speculating that at least one was Liandrin.
Liandrin, okay, yeah.
And not at least one, because she could be both of them. So one of them was Liandrin.
One was Liandrin.
And one was probably one that went with her.
Okay.
Or not.
But they all, like, up and left.
That's my gut.
Okay, yeah.
Except for if Varen is secretly a Black Aja.
So then there's 14. But that, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think
doesn't roll off the tongue
I
as
really
nicely.
don't think it has to do with the Forsaken, 13.
It's a convenient number.
It's a scary number.
It is. I know you don't like that.
No, I don't like it. Okay. It's a bad number.
Sure.
And it's bad luck.
Totally, yeah.
So that's why this number keeps getting brought up for dark friends.
Yes.
And evil.
Makes sense, okay.
All right. Where were we? So Nynaeve says that this is crazy. We can't take on full sisters. But Swan says that both of them right now would be a match for Liandrin, and she's the strongest of all of them.
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
But again, keep in mind, we're talking sheer power here. We're not talking about tricks.
Right.
So.
They're both strong, but Nynaeve has some limitations, and they are untrained.
Yeah. It's kind of like a weird conversation, too, because the way I'm reading this is like, Nynaeve and Egwene are worried, obviously, like, we have to go hunt the Black Aja. But Swan is not saying, I need you to, like, find them, capture them, put them in a bag, and bring them to my office.
No.
She's saying, like, hunt them down, figure out who they are, get some intel.
And then tell me.
And then let me know, and, like, we'll go after them. It's not like I need you to throw them in a sack like you did in Shanshan.
I know.
Like...
Both of them are just, like, Falma,
to the Shanshan. In Falma,
yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. So, I think both of them are just thinking about combat and...
Yeah.
What do we do when we find them? Well, they're gonna attack us, and we're gonna have to attack them.
That's not how, like, subterfuge works, and, like, being sneaky.
And then they're like, well, what if they make us do things?
Yeah.
We have to do what they say.
Like,
and it's like what? What?
Like, you're still in the attack, so yeah.
Don't call them a dark friend to their face.
Yeah.
Don't call them Black Aja.
Don't, like, throw accusations in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Swan is like, okay. So if anyone is telling you to do something that you don't want to do,
yeah.
For example, leave the White Tower and go through the ways to save Rand's ass and
Trust
Falma.
me, there's a reason. You got to come with me.
Yeah.
Never go to the second location. Yeah.
Yeah. So Swan opens her magic firebox.
Yep.
And takes out 2 papers and gives them to Nynaeve and Egwene.
Yeah.
And says to keep these hidden.
Yep.
And they say, what the bearer does is done at my order and by my authority. Obey, keep silent, at my command. And then it's like signed with like the Amyrlin seal.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a pretty powerful note.
Yeah, and Nynaeve is like, holy shit, we can do anything with these. I can make warders dance. And
yeah.
It's like,
well, she's talking about one warder specifically, probably.
oh, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
It's
land.
Yes,
it's land she's talking about.
Land.
Yeah.
But
let's talk about these notes because this is like pretty powerful.
Yeah.
And I just need to know how soon how soon are they gonna pull these out and use them? Like way too early, or are they gonna like never use them?
3 hours.
3 hours. Okay.
No.
So it's kind of like
as soon as Phelan like says something super bitchy, Egwene's gonna be like, "Ha! In your face!"
Yeah, get out of here. Go mop the deck.
Yeah.
Swab the deck. I don't know.
But Swan says like, "Yeah, you could do all that stuff, but like,
I'm gonna find out about it.
Don't, because you'll have to answer to me, and plus, a dark friend won't obey these notes anyway.
Yeah, so...
and it'll just paint a huge target on you."
Yeah, and she says, or a white cloak. Because
Yeah.
I can totally see, like, Egwene going up and trying to shove this in, like, white cloak's, like, friggin' Dane's face.
Yeah, no, I know. And so the idea is not to be noticed, and if you just, like, have this incredibly powerful note from the Amyrlin...
Oh, yeah, like, it's gonna draw attention to you.
Oh, from literally everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's...
So 3 hours, it's gonna be used. At least one of them.
At least.
They're gonna blow one of the notes already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's gonna take it to like Sheriam and be like,
No punishments.
No punishments. No switchings, please.
Yeah. Please stop. Thank you.
Yeah. But Egwene says, okay, but like, hey, remember Matt?
Yeah.
Like he's sick.
Oh yeah, he's gonna die like
How's
immediately.
he doing? And then Swan goes, go ahead and shut up about that.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
And Egwene is like, yeah, but, and she's like, no, I'll send word. I'll let you know.
Yeah. So, okay.
And then dismisses them to go, like, to their punishment chores.
Yeah, like get your switchings and then go scrub the pots. So, this whole Matt deal, because I know that you know that the whole Matt potential healing that's supposed to be happening is probably going to be happening very soon.
Well, it has to, because he only has hours.
So, exactly. So,
and
it's like...
we don't know how long they were waiting in their rooms.
Yeah.
Like,
I just need to know what you are thinking it's happening, because she's very, like... brushing off the like don't worry about it type deal. What's going to happen with Matt specifically?
Does the Amyrlin specifically need to heal, or does she just need to give the order to get other... But because it's like Shatter Logoth and it's like this whole thing that needs to stay hush, I think the Amyrlin would be part of it probably.
Okay, I mean she was part of the original in Faldara,
because I'm just thinking,
but that's only because a matter of circumstance.
If Matt has already been healed,
so they've already done it, and Swan's just not a part of it because
no,
she wouldn't
Swan
necessarily
went and was a part of it.
Did it? They waited for like hours.
Yeah, because we don't know how long they waited.
That's
like,
true.
I actually felt like it was days.
Yeah, it did feel like Egwene was going a little bit stir crazy.
But it could have been half an hour.
It could have been half an hour. Could have been like 5 hours. Could have been like, I don't know, 2 weeks. Hard to say.
Yeah.
So Matt healed?
Well, I think that if Matt... Well, I know Matt's going to be healed. Like, I can't...
I know.
Like, Matt isn't going to die here at the beginning of Book 3.
But we also don't know to what extent he will be healed.
No, we don't know that.
So.
But I think that he'll be healed, and I think that we'll see it.
Okay.
So if he's already been healed, it'll be like a back-in-time situation.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, that's all I got for you.
Okay, I like it. That's good.
But yeah, that's the end of this chapter.
Yeah. Any last notes that you had? I think I covered everything I had. Oh, question for you.
Yeah.
Where did the 13 Aes Sedai Black Aja, where'd they go?
I don't know. Do some Baalzamon bidding.
Ooh, okay.
Search for Rand.
Okay.
Because that's all Baalzamon seems to care about at this moment.
True.
Especially because we saw that whole Fade showing up at that White Cloak.
Yep. Jacob Carradine. Yep. Like the conflicting orders?
Like the whole thing about how kill Rand now.
Yeah.
So maybe because Rand can channel...
And he's like getting...
Maybe Baalzamon and Forsaken...
Yeah.
Like Baalzamon and company. I don't even know what that looks like in this book right now.
Rand's just in the wilderness killing dogs right now, so... there's that.
It's so bad.
Okay. And they left.
They left about a month or two ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
A few months ago, they said.
They've been up to something.
So
That'd be interesting to get a viewpoint from them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we might get.
Yeah, it's possible.
We have got, like...
Random...
Fane.
Like, we
Fane's
have.
perspective, so...
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
Okay.
Ooh, the next chapter is good. Okay.
Oh, you haven't said that in a really long time.
Oh, this is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. We're like into it now.
Oh, good.
Stuff's happening.
Good. Because I've been waiting for you to say that to me.
Do you want to know the title?
Yeah.
The Gray Man.
Oh.
Ooh. Remember what Gray Man is?
Yeah. The killers.
The secret assassin
killer guys.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see whose perspective we're in.
And like where we are in the world.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool.
Also, interesting that Egwene and Nynaeve are just gonna go be Dark Friend spies. Oh, I remember what I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, Dark Friend spies. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like a big event that happened.
That's huge. Yeah, they're just gonna be like undercover, stealthy.
Yeah, maybe not so stealthy. Yeah.
So, when I first read this chapter, it sounded to me like they were going out to find Liandrin and
like to go hunt the 13.
To go hunt the 13 because they're going to get a list of like the Angreal that they stole and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then it like almost flips and it says, well, just do your chores in the tower and keep your ears open and let me know if there's any funny business here.
Yeah.
So, but it's like...
It's not...
Which is...
It kind of feels like Swan doesn't have like a full plan formulated yet.
Yeah.
And she's like letting them in on it now. And then she'll like come up with a better plan soon.
Yeah, hopefully. Because are they actually gonna leave and go search the world for them?
Maybe. Like right now it kind of seems like we're staying in the tower because they have to be raised to accepted.
Yeah.
So like they got to do the tests. They got to do that whole business.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be super suspicious that they just like up and leave again right after they came back.
Right.
So there's that whole deal.
But as an accepted, you get way more freedom because you can leave a little bit, right?
Yes.
You just can't leave Tarval and...
Yeah, so it could be like a couple weeks or a month or two of punishment. It could be like,
okay.
You know...
All right. That was my only sort of thing
It's a good thought.
I didn't really get because...
Yeah. It is unclear exactly what's happening.
Because these two chicks really want to get revenge on...
Yeah, they're like, let's
Liandrin.
do it. Let's go get them.
They're like, yeah, we'll do it, man. As if they had a choice, right?
Yeah. Which they don't.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm excited to move on.
Yes.
I'm excited to read on, and I'm going to say that this is officially part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Vince Lewick, Scott Williams, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Michelle O'Brien, Derek Benton, Benjamin, and Derek Schluter, with music by Audionautics.com. If you'd like bonus content, like bonus episodes, outtakes, Q&As, more fun Wheel of Time talk, early access, cool stickers and keychains, and also to support us making great content, visit us at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners. Plus, don't forget to rate, subscribe, and tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. We'd really love for you to come over and join our Discord channel for some spoiler or spoiler-free discussions. You can find the links at our Twitter page as well as on our Patreon page. Thanks again for tuning in because this really is part of the pattern now.